Hello, students. Okay, today we are going to be continuing to talk about how to tell time. So if you went to my Zoom lesson on Friday, you might be able to skip this video if you already remember everything. But if not, or you need a review, you should watch this video. Okay, so I'm just going to be going over how to tell time using something called an analog clock. Okay, analog clock. Okay, so that is a type of clock like this one here. Many times in this day and age, we have digital clocks, right? Like on our phone where it just says the time, really easy to read. But sometimes we might be somewhere where we only have access to an analog clock. And if that's the case, I want to make sure that you know how to tell the time in English. Okay? So I'm just going to go over some quick vocabulary. The first thing is this small hand right here. This is the hour. This is the hour hand, okay? The small one, okay? Hour hand. So it tells us the hour, right? So on this clock, it's just a little bit past the 11. So it is 11, right? 11, we know it's 11. And then it has this hand right here. This big hand is called the minute hand, okay? So here it tells us that the minute hand, see, it's just a little bit before that 7. So we know for 7, that's where the 35 would go. So it's 11:34, right? Or they put down here on this clock, it's 34 minutes past 11. So something that's going to be really important as we're telling time is that you are able to count to 60 in English. If you can't do that, this is going to be tricky, right? Because each of these little tick marks is 1 minute, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Or to make it easy, right, you could count by tens, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60, which is just the o'clock, right? All right, so make sure that you know how to count from 1 to 60 in English for this. All right, so we will continue going. Move that out of the way. Okay. All right, so in English, it says here, when the big minute hand goes all the way around, the small hour hand will have moved up 1 number, and the hour will have passed. Okay, so for example, here, this clock right here, it's 12 o'clock. But if we take the minute hand and we move it all the way around the clock 1 time, a whole hour has passed, right? Now it's pointing right at the 1, so it's 1 o'clock. All right. Next, we're going to talk about half an hour later. Okay, so if this is a whole hour, that means this is just half, right? Half an hour. So here it says, when the big minute hand is at the 6, 30 minutes will have passed. It's half past. The small hour hand will now be halfway in between the numbers. Okay, so here, right, 12 o'clock, we move it. Oh, I can't move that one. We move it halfway around. Boop. And it's right in the middle. Not 1 o'clock yet, just half past 12, right? So a half an hour has passed, 12:30 or half past 12.